This is the fence from the day that happened. If you go to right here, the fence to get broke right here got to be pushed from his side of the fence, not my side of the fence. It wouldn't break like that. The nails go through the other side of the fence. So all of that right there came from his dog. His dogs initiated this stuff with the fence.
And you're saying that's because of where the panel is there, kind of backing it up? If it's going to be broken, it was going to be broken this way, not this way,
right,
is what you're saying.
Right.
You can go ahead and step back to the podium. Because one of the things we have to assess today is damages, I just want to look very briefly at some of the evidence that you provided us of Biggie after the attack. Is this a picture of you and your sons?
Yes. That was me trying to comfort Biggie, and he, at that point, died in my arms.
So this is a picture of
you at the
hospital,
yes.
And this is a picture of some of the wounds on his neck?
Yes, his dogs bit him in the neck, in the rib cage, and in his jaw.
Okay, and then after one of your sons, I see the photograph, helped you dig a grave for him?
That was really difficult. My son is 11 years old. He's never had to do that before in his life, but he was helping his dad. That was that night after we buried him. My son stayed out there for over an hour at Biggie's grave.
I have nothing further.
All right. We're going to excuse you both. We will deliberate in this matter.
This courtroom is now in recess.
Like I said at the outset, these are the toughest cases
Yes,
I think
of
we get
course.
here. Fortunately for us, I think while tough emotionally, this to me is not tough legally. I think the video is pretty clear cut. You know, it may not be perfect, but it's better than we would have under most circumstances. And it did look like the two bullies were attacking Biggie.
Yeah.
You know, the defendant says they must have been provoked, you know, something must have happened, but that's not really how we analyze these cases. These two dogs of his got out and ended up causing Biggie's death. You know, absent some evidence here that there was some major provocation on Biggie's part, which we just don't really see any evidence of.
Well, actually, Biggie was in a submissive position.
See, there you go.
He was on his back, open legs,
Right.
which is, you know, I'm here.
And the claim that Blue may have done it, I think that was completely disproven by the video. Blue kind of turned around and walked to the other side of the yard. So I do think that the two dogs are responsible for the death, and that makes their owner responsible. We have evidence from the plaintiff in the form of the contract for $3,000 for the payment of Biggie, and for approximately $214 that they paid initially to get Biggie vaccinated. And the veterinarian bills were only $984. They did make an attempt to save his life. They did x-rays. We have proof of that. That's a reasonable bill under the circumstance. So I would award the plaintiff the full amount that they're requesting, which is $4,198.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Look, this is as tough a case as we get in here because it involves a beloved member of the family and, you know, the loss of a life. So these are not easy cases, a lot of emotions all around. But it's our job today to kind of review and distill the evidence and come up with the correct legal verdict. Now, here in court, our burden of proof is a preponderance of the evidence. We have to determine what is more likely to have happened than not. We don't prove definitively what happened, but the evidence that we had to review did show to us that your two bullies were responsible at the end for the attack on Biggie, and that there was no compelling evidence to us that anything provoked the attack or that there was anything that might have made Biggie or the Scotts responsible for the attack. Now, that doesn't mean that you're to blame or that you have bad dogs or that they're to blame. But dogs are animals. You can't always rationalize their behavior. You can't always rationalize people's behavior. We reviewed the pet contract that you gave us when you purchased Biggie and the vet bills. And we are going to award you $3,214 for the cost of Biggie and the initial round of vaccinations and $984 for the vet bills. So we are granting your request and rendering a verdict in your favor for the full amount requested, $4,198. And we wish you all and both of your sets of dogs the best.